The rain had just stopped when the red double-decker bus pulled away from the stop on Sydenham Hill, leaving behind a young woman in her early 20s, hood pulled low over her curls, earbuds blasting indie rock into her ears. She walked briskly down the quiet suburban street, past neatly trimmed hedges and parked Volvos, toward a pale yellow semi-detached house with bay windows and a potted olive tree by the front door. This was home, though lately it felt more like a place she passed through than truly lived in. Inside, the house carried the quiet dignity of a British middle-class family. Framed photos of holidays in Cornwall and Diwali celebrations lined the hallway. The living room held a well-worn sofa, a bookshelf stacked with novels and cookbooks, and a framed certificate from King's College London hanging on the wall. The parents, both professionals, both children of immigrants, had built a life of stability, respect, and quiet tradition. Their daughter, now 20, had grown up surrounded by it all, yet lately seemed determined to reject it. She was unmistakably modern London. Olive skin, dark eyes lined with subtle kohl, silver hoops glinting in her ears. Her wardrobe consisted of band hoodies, ripped black jeans and chunky trainers, clothes that screamed, "I don't care," even when she did. Her room upstairs was a chaotic mix of university textbooks, fairy lights, vintage band posters, and half-empty coffee mugs. She spent her days attending lectures on sociology, her nights at pubs in Brixton with friends who laughed loudly about toxic family dynamics and outdated expectations. Her parents, meanwhile, moved through life with quiet grace. Her mother, late 40s, with streaks of gray she refused to dye, wore silk blouses to work and soft-knit cardigans at home, always with pearl studs and a gold bangle from her own mother. Her father favored corduroy trousers, neatly pressed shirts, and reading glasses that slid down his nose when he read The Guardian over breakfast. They weren't strict, but they believed in respect, for elders, for milestones, for the unspoken bonds that held a family together. And today was their 25th wedding anniversary. They hadn't made a fuss. No fancy restaurants, no overseas trips. Just a home-cooked roast dinner, a bottle of red wine saved for special occasions, and a slideshow of old photos playing softly on the TV. It was their way, understated, meaningful, British to the core. But their daughter had forgotten. Entirely. She arrived home at 7:45 p.m., 15 minutes after dinner was meant to start, still in the same outfit she'd worn to campus. A faded Arctic Monkeys hoodie, black leggings, and scuffed white trainers. Her hair was damp from the earlier rain, her cheeks flushed from the walk. She smelled faintly of beer and cigarette smoke. "Happy anniversary," she mumbled as she dropped her bag in the hallway. Not meeting her mother's eyes, her mother stood in the kitchen doorway, wearing a deep green wrap dress and small gold earrings. "You forgot, didn't you?" The daughter shrugged. "I've had a lot on. But I'm here now, aren't I?" Dinner was already laid out. Roast chicken, Yorkshire puddings, honey-glazed carrots, and a small chocolate cake with 25 years written in delicate script. Candles flickered on the table. Soft jazz played from the speaker. She sat down, pulled out her phone, and began scrolling. "Could you put that away, please?" her father asked gently. "Just checking a message," she replied, not looking up. Minutes passed in strained silence. Then, as her mother reached to pour wine, the daughter shifted in her chair, and her elbow knocked over the glass. Deep red wine splashed across the tablecloth and onto the cake. "Oh, for God's sake!" her mother exclaimed, grabbing a tea towel. "It's just cake," the daughter snapped, rolling her eyes. "You're acting like I burned the house down." Her father set his fork down slowly. "That cake took your mother 3 hours to make." "Well, maybe she shouldn't have bothered," the daughter shot back, voice sharp. "It's not like anniversaries matter anymore. You're acting like it's the Queen's Jubilee or something." Her mother went very still. The room seemed to shrink. You think this is about cake? She asked, voice low. This is about you forgetting us, dismissing us, treating everything we've built with love, with sacrifice, as if it's meaningless. The daughter stood abruptly. Whatever. I'm not in the mood for a lecture. She turned to leave, but her mother's voice stopped her cold. You will not walk away from this table with that attitude. The daughter turned, incredulous. What are you going to do? Ground me? I'm 20. Her mother stepped forward, calm but unyielding. Age doesn't erase disrespect. And you've crossed a line. She led her daughter into the hallway, away from the ruined dinner, away from her father's silent disappointment. There, under the soft glow of the overhead light, she said firmly, hands on the wall. The daughter froze. You can't be serious. I am, her mother said. You will learn that actions have consequences, even now. Tears of anger pricked the daughter's eyes, but something in her mother's tone, steady, sorrowful, resolute, made her obey. She turned and placed her palms flat against the floral wallpaper. Her mother pulled down her leggings just enough, leaving her hoodie and cotton underwear in place, and delivered the first firm spank with an open palm. The daughter gasped. It wasn't unbearable, but it was shocking, like a jolt from a past she thought she'd outgrown. Each swat was measured, deliberate, not cruel but unyielding. 6, 7, 8. Do you understand why this is happening? Her mother asked between strokes. Because I ruined dinner? The daughter choked out. No, her mother said, delivering another firm smack. Because you chose to treat your family with contempt. Because you forgot what love looks like when it's quiet, when it's patient, when it's not posted online for likes. The daughter's breath hitched. The sting was real, but worse was the shame. The realization that she'd hurt them not with wine, but with indifference. The 12th spank, her mother stopped. The hallway was silent except for the daughter's shaky breathing gently. Her mother pulled the leggings back up and turned her around. The daughter's face was wet with tears, her cheeks flushed, her defiance utterly gone. Her mother cupped her face. Look at me. The daughter did. Her mother's eyes were glistening but dry, strong. This wasn't about punishment, she said softly. It was about reminding you who you are. You are our daughter. You carry our name, our values, our love, even when you forget it. She wiped her daughter's tears with her thumb. We don't expect perfection, but we do expect respect. Not because we're your parents, but because we're human beings who love you. The daughter nodded, unable to speak. All her sarcasm, all her performative rebellion, had evaporated in the face of genuine sorrow. I'm sorry, she whispered. Her mother pulled her into a hug, tight, warm, forgiving. I know. Later that night, the daughter sat on her bed in the dark, knees drawn to her chest. Rain had started again, tapping gently against the window. She stared at the photo on her desk. Her parents on their wedding day, standing outside a registry office in Croydon. Her mother in a simple white dress, her father grinning in a borrowed suit. They looked so young, so hopeful. Quietly, she took a sheet of notebook paper and wrote, I'm sorry I forgot what matters. I'm sorry I made you feel small on a day that should have been big. I'll do better. Always your daughter. She folded it carefully and slipped it under her parents' bedroom door. The next morning, she woke to the smell of toast and Earl Grey. Downstairs, 2 mugs sat on the kitchen table. One with extra sugar, just how she liked it. Her mother stood at the sink, back turned, washing dishes in a soft gray cardigan, her hair tied back in a loose bun. Sleep well? Her mother asked, without turning. The daughter wrapped her hands around the warm mug. Yeah, she said softly. Thanks, Mum. Her mother finally turned, offering a small, tired smile. Good. No grand speeches. No dramatic reconciliation. Just tea, quiet understanding, and the slow mending of something precious. Like so many British mornings after a storm outside, the sun broke through the clouds over South London, glinting off wet pavements and bus windows, as life carried on, imperfect, tender, and deeply human.